Give thanks to Satoshi for magic internet money.
I saw you had tweeted at me and I didn't respond to it. Why everybody hates capitalism, and it's something I don't understand either. Like this weird movement towards like hard socialism.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, dude, why? Who wants that? Like I want things like university, cut down the prices, healthcare affordable for people, social safety nets for certain people. There should be some social programs that help out within a society. But no, man, not this full on, just like that guy has more, he should give it to us. I don't know why, I just want it.
You know what? Like that is the thing. There's this I wrote an article about it. If anybody wants to read it, like you can go on my Medium page, I guess. Just Google Medium Brad Mills Capitalism is a good way to find it. Because I don't have a good easy access link. But like the way I was thinking about it was there is definitely this trend towards hating capitalism and being very pro-socialism. And it's got to do with the mainstream news and like AOC and Sanders and like all these progressives that while I really like what they're saying in their message about anti-corruption and everything, they don't know really what they're talking about when it comes to the economy and making money because most of them are broke. So, you know, when it comes to making money, you want to have regulations, but you want to have a free market so that someone who's got the motivation to go and start a business that provides value to the world can make money. And you do want to have a social safety net for certain people who are like got mental problems or given a shit lot in life. But really, it's just it's a symptom because we don't really have capitalism in America or even in Canada, really. It's like a counterfeit capitalism because the government hands out contracts and the government is involved in all these like businesses where they create value for their friends, I guess, or corporations where none should exist in the first place. And they get lobbyists. So for a good example of that is the corn subsidies that we had here. And in Ontario, we have this subsidy for green power where they sign these contracts to these corporations where they could get like 50 cents a kilowatt hour or something for this power that it really only costs them like 3 cents a kilowatt hour to generate. And they've signed these long-term contracts for this shit. And it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any, like, Bill Gates would not have signed that contract. And if he did and the power cost came down to 3 cents, he would have been like, let's renegotiate that contract. So governments just don't get it. And anyways, I totally understand where people are coming from because there's a crazy wealth gap. It's never been this nuts. And the Gini coefficient, they call it, is the inequality, the wealth inequality measurement. And it's just getting worse and worse and worse because Trump's tax cuts helped people all over the board, but for the most part, it helped corporations and billionaires. And billionaires, because they're like Bill Gates, I think that's totally fine. But billionaires, because they're like the CEO of the Federal Reserve or the JP Morgan or something.
It's okay to point out the bad billionaires, but not to just be like all billionaires are bad.
Yeah, and it's all lumped in.
This hard push for then socialism, which is, look, man, I was in my 20s. I was a socialist. Like, I loved it. I thought it was great. You know, it was, oh, yeah, give me stuff. I haven't earned anything. Right? Like, honestly, and then you grow up, and then you you start paying taxes, and you're like, no, I don't want to pay this many taxes.
No, too much.
Yeah.
Too much.
I want to help, but come on, guys.
I like the EI check, but I don't like when I have to
the EI checks. But no, man, you know what I mean, right? So it's like, also, I love it. I just wish that somebody's like, go up against an AOC or a Bernie Sanders and just be like, I'm right now going to pull down a board of the list of things capitalism has done. And now here's a list of things socialism has done. It's just bread lines versus like literally every vaccine that we have. Just, well, obviously there's other reasons why vaccine, but every technological advancement, like the way the world works now in where we live, people have to step back and thank free market capitalism. It's just, we do need regulations at points, and we need ways for corporations to pay their fair share of taxes, and you know, that money to be allocated for the right things. It's not just, hey, we tax them, that's good. It's to put that money into things that we know work and don't be worried.
And they're so wasteful.
Exactly. Don't be worried about somebody saying, when you criticize a program like welfare, that could have legitimate criticisms, and be like, actually, the way we're doing it doesn't work, and we need to do this. And then, well, that's racist, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, is shutting things down just, well, no, the numbers, though, they bear out that.
Yeah. The drug laws are racist. Like, putting 5% of the minorities in the U.S. in jail for nonviolent drug crimes and promoting that is racist.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's for sure racist. But yeah, trying to fix that is not racist.
No.
But there's such a shift in social media, especially, that it's almost like I'm almost afraid to say like that I'm an entrepreneur. Like sometimes now, because there's such a backlash against capitalism and pro-socialism. Because people are mixing the real root cause of like the cancer in our society for economically and everything is because the bankers create the money, and they create so much of it, and they have the ability, a legal printing license, to print money. So when you deposit money in your bank, like $1,000, they have the legal ability to loan your money to someone else.
Yeah.
$900 of it. And they just keep doing that, and it multiplies. And so banks can just print money, and when they screw up and they take too much risks like they did in 2008 with the mortgage crisis, they get bailed out by the government. So when you make money off the back of the entire generation of people, like, that's immoral. And there should not be taking money and profits out of banking, I think, would make more sense. But then, that for sure, I'm 100% on board with that. But people are so financially illiterate, and like, especially even the leaders like AOC and stuff, like they can't even differentiate between that. I hear Bernie Sanders talk, and even though I really like the guy, he doesn't even know what he's talking about when it comes down to the nuts and bolts of like capitalism and like how banks work. And if they actually did what he said he was going to do and what AOC wants to do with the Green New Deal, it would collapse the global economy for sure.
Oh yeah, no, the Green New Deal's insane, and I'm like, we don't have time to get into this because it's like getting so close. I gotta use the washroom. We should shut this down.
Right.
But the Green New Deal, and I'm a climate change guy. Believe it's happening. Really, maybe more so than you do, or think more needs to be done.
I'm just less of an alarmist about it. I think we got to do something.
I've slowly become less of an alarmist, still bordering on the alarmist aspect. But the Green New Deal is insane. It just can't be done.
No,
you can't
impossible.
Shut down the economy because. You can't. Here's the thing you can't say. And look, I'm left and believe in climate change, and I can't say, yeah, but it doesn't. We could literally, North America could shut down all its airports tomorrow, shut down all its industry, do all that, which would be catastrophic, shut down the economy, and it would put a minute dent in what's happening in the world because the two biggest polluters are China and India, and they're not going to do it. So if you can't control their emissions, then doing this over here to be like, and that's why.
And it would disrupt the entire global economy. It wouldn't just change the U.S. Like,
yeah,
the U.S.
Right,
the national reserve, the reserve currency of the world is the U.S. dollar. And if the U.S. started to treat like the reserve currency of the world as like a piggy bank, just to make its own, like, revamp the entire like fleet of airlines and airports and traffic and roads, and like just to make America 100% better. The rest of the world actually uses the US dollar. So they're going to look at that and be like, we're getting this shaft here. Like, they're getting all this new stuff, and they're getting all this new technology, and all their citizens are getting universal basic income, and we're using their dollar to settle our oil and to do all of our trades? No way. And they would just immediately stop using the US dollar and use like the petrodollar from Saudi Arabia, or like the Chinese, Russian gold-backed dollar or something, and that would disrupt the U.S. economy. So all this stuff is so intermingled.
The Kuwaiti dollar, whatever it is, the highest currency in the world, right?
Bitcoin.
Well,
Bitcoin is
course.
$10,000 for one Bitcoin. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I forgot. I know you're right. But you know what I mean by, like,
Yeah. But anyways, I do.
You're talking to an old school guy here. I read the paper
by the way,
on the A
Nick,
train
here,
on the way
your
to
first
the mill.
Bitcoin.
No, I'm not.
$100 of Bitcoin. Rise Wallet. This podcast is now sponsored by Rise Wallet. RiseWallet.com. Get your first Bitcoins. Here, actually take it.
No, I'm not
He
going to take your
took it.
Bitcoin because you're going to give this to somebody else.
No,
Like,
I was
it's a
just
thing.
kidding earlier. Nick asked about it. And I was like, oh,
Well, because it looked like a gift certificate to Bitcoin, like exactly like a Netflix or whatever thing.
it's a
And I was like,
Bitcoin.
what is this?
So that's $100 a Bitcoin, Nick.
I'm not going to take your.
You are
$100
going to take
Bitcoin.
it because last time we spoke on your podcast, Bitcoin was like $5,000, and I was trying to get you to get some, and you didn't get any.
Yeah.
It would have been double by now because it's up to 10,000. So this time, I don't want to see Bitcoin at $1 million a Bitcoin in 10 years.
$1 million? Do you think it's going to go that high?
I do, yeah. In 10 years, I think Bitcoin's going to be like a competitor to the global reserve.
So this
currency.
is 1/100th of a Bitcoin.
No, that's $100 of Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So it's a.
Oh yeah, actually, because it's $10,000.
Yeah.
1/100th.
Yeah, man.
You're good at math.
Yeah, I'm not bad.
Yeah.
Good calculus. I can do it for basic shit like that.
Yeah, so it's 1/100th of a Bitcoin, and you can have 1,000,000th of a Bitcoin.
I am literally going to send every dollar of this to Sierra Leone to fund child soldiers.
Oh, lovely.
I just wanted to. I wanted because I know we're going to end now, and I wanted to end on that. Of course, I'm not going to do that.
All right.
Yeah,
Everyone should go and Google how to get Bitcoin, because when Bernie Sanders gets elected and implements all these changes, it's going to be great for everyone for a little bit, but then the economy's going to crash and you're going to want Bitcoin.
yeah. All right. This is fun, man.
Good chat. Thanks for listening to the Magic Internet Money with Nick Beaton.
All right.